Take a look.
You had surgery? You had surgery? Are you kidding me?
I just went and had a deep plane facelift less than 24 hours ago.
Wow. Welcome back to the show, guys. The Botched doctors are in the building. Dr. Nassif and Dr. Dubrow. How are you guys?
We're so
We're
good.
great.
Your surgery looks good.
Yeah, I look
Doesn't
pretty
it?
good, don't I?
I think
Nice
you
and
look
natural.
beautiful.
Well,
Thank
they
you, thank
pulled
you.
so hard that now when he shaves, he's shaving pubic hair.
Yeah. I've heard
Get
that.
it?
I get it. Trust me. Well, listen, Botched season 6 premiered last night, and as we saw in that clip, Dr. Nassif, you had some plastic surgery of your own. Tell us about why you decided to have it. Is it because Dr. D gave you so much
Yeah,
pressure?
no.
I would
Get
actually
it?
go home at night and I would probably weep, at least 3 times a week because of the insults.
liar.
You gotta keep your partner happy.
He made me feel very insecure about
Oh,
myself.
vanity. That's why I had it. Admit it.
Horribly
Narcissist and
challenged.
vain.
Bottom line is,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that? It's called, a little extra skin, losing weight, constantly grab it. Yes, did he make it easier for me? No. But I would go home and I go, I want to get this crap.
Maybe a
out.
little less time spent in the mirror.
So I said, I'm doing it for myself, and that was it.
That's the reason to do plastic surgery.
Did you not trust Dr. D to do the surgery?
Well, the reason why I went to my buddy out here, because we spoke about it 2 years ago, and he has a certain type of lift that I do and that I like.
Okay.
And so he actually, we've worked together and do the same type of lift. And I said to him 7 years ago, I go, when I'm ready, I'll have him do it. And that's the only reason why. Plus, I wanted him to be very surprised. I mean, he's an incredible surgeon, does facelifts all the time. We both do. But this was more of a little bit of a surprise. Plus, add one more thing. We were here visiting my buddy, Andrew Giacono, in the Hamptons at his house. Just kind of talking about it, and then a little bit of this. Say, maybe you could just do a little of this. Maybe tomorrow we'll do it. And then it got into a little bit more and more. So it was kind of spontaneous. That's the other reason.
So it was like a little bit of this, but then you could do this, and how about here? And does your wife love it?
She loves me any way I am, period.
Is that what she says or what you say?
That's what she says.
Okay. Well,
She's here. You can ask
Right.
her. She's
I
watching
will.
us right now.
Oh, man. Well, you mentioned you want to have a baby girl with her. Have you started working on that?
We just got married September 28th.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind waiting a little while, but I kind of think that she's maybe interested in kind of moving forward with this.
Maybe this new
But it might not be a baby girl. We don't know. That would be nice, but we'll have to just see what comes out.
You want a girl.
I would like a girl, but
We're superior. You know
It's
this.
so true.
It's so true.
I have 3 of them.
See, we're just better.
Except for about 14 to 17 years of age, and then it's just a disaster.
Just erase us from that.
Totally.
Yeah, no, we're not. On the season premiere last night, you guys had the reality HBIC, Tiffany
yeah.
Pollard, on for a second time.
Yep.
And she revealed she believed her implants were making her ill. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at that clip real quick.
I've been getting sick. Diarrhea every morning like clockwork, dizzy,
Right.
panic attacks. And then my girlfriend had her implants removed because there's this list that was going around the internet, breast implant illness.
That's right,
Yes.
BII.
Now, Dr. D, you mentioned a lot through the episode that this isn't discussed by plastic surgeons.
Right.
Why not?
Unfortunately, plastic surgery is like retail medicine, At the end of the day, although plastic surgeons are very highly trained, they're trying to sell you surgery a lot of times. So they want to minimize maybe the risks and not really maybe expose the real truth about plastic surgery.
Do you think that the breast implant illness was causing her sickness?
Well, she got better, so if you have a problem and you have a surgery to fix that problem, you get better, you can usually say it's probably from that. So probably.
Well, you guys also had Gia Gotham on the show, who went really big with her implants to the point where even trying to fix them would cause her harm. Let's take a look at that.
There's a lot at stake here if you have a complication, and you're 3 millimeters away from a complication. Your skin is so thin. Right now, any kind of lift would impair the blood supply to your nipple. It would die.
Oof, that looks like it's painful.
Well, the skin was so thin you could read the label on the implant through the skin. Is that crazy?
It was just stretched so much.
Yeah, and so if you operate on it, there isn't much blood supply to keep everything alive. It'd be very, very risky.
Why are doctors not following FDA mandates?
Because the patients drive a lot of what they want to have happen, and doctors, will do what patients want. Well, they shouldn't. They should tell patients what's the safest thing to do, inform them of the risks, and then follow the rules.
And that's crazy, but actually that is so real. What he says is that patients can dictate what a doctor does many times. Now, not us.
Never.
Because we're tough and we say nope, and that's why we say no all the time. But it really just depends on whose office you go to and what country.
So you guys have a line where it's like you'll tell the patient, I'm not going to do this for you. If you want this, you have to go to someone else.
Well, I think we show that on Botched.
We do that all
Yeah.
the time.
And
we do that in our own practice.
Yeah, people have to
obviously.
understand plastic surgery is real and real serious. And it's as serious as cancer surgery, cardiac surgery. It's not a game, and there are real risks to it.
What else can we expect from the season?
I mean, you're going to see, for me, you're going to see a lot more facial reconstruction. Remember Botched by Nature?
Of course.
So we have a lot of patients that actually had traumatic things happen to them, like filler going to the nose called non-surgical rhinoplasty.
Mm-hmm.
And when the actual tissue, what happens is you hit a little blood vessel or compresses it, skin turns white, then eventually black, and the skin dies. Then they have reconstruction, then I got to go and fix it, or there's been a lot of facial trauma. A young lady basically had tissue removed from her face from a car accident. The doctor took a piece of inner thigh. She was a patient of color, and she ended up having this big brown piece of skin here with pubic hair growing out all the time. So we had to do a way to fix that. So there's a lot of very interesting patients on this. And so for me, there was a lot more challenging facial reconstruction. Besides, again, a few noses that got destroyed with filler. So filler, by the way, has its own dangers. And then what this guy had, which he'll tell you in a second, he's had patients that he actually had to fall apart on him.
Well, this season, I call this the season of traffic accidents, because as opposed to one surgery, it took some of my cases 5 operations to get them to a good place, because, they're so damaged that you have to take things apart, and I had my own complications this season.
I mean, the good thing about what you guys do, though, is you get to see, like, the bad stuff, and then you can turn it around into something glorious and beautiful.
God willing.
God willing, yes. But I'm sure you bring the most happiness to your patients because you've fixed them, I guess, is the appropriate way. Or how do you guys...
Yeah, we see it that way. They're in a hopeless situation, and this show has given us a certain set of skills that I don't think any plastic surgeon in the world has been exposed to, just by virtue of the fact that we have had experience doing these impossible cases.
Right.
So we now use these skills in a new and creative way to fix impossible problems. I had a patient who had 32 operations on her breast before I got to her. 32. I was number 33. And before she was in a good place, she was in a very bad place with me from my surgeries, and then I got her in a good place. Very dangerous season, very scary.
Wow. I mean, it's so impressive what you guys do. If you guys are fighting or disagreeing about something, who usually wins?
Well, I've got to tell you one thing. We were actually talking about this 2 nights ago during dinner. One thing that we've been able to establish since we've known each other for 20 years is that as revisional specialists, plus we do first-time surgeries, if we both have a difference of an opinion, we discuss it, we may argue about it, and there's no ego involved here.
No.
Whatever will win will be what is the best solution for the patient, period.
Right.
It's not like who's going to win.
Yeah.
It's what's the best scenario.
I mean, he is the second best surgeon in the world, so I've got to respect that.
Who's the first?
Yeah,
Who do you-
yeah,
who do
I
you
don't
think
know.
the first-
Brittany is the first.
Right, that's right. That's correct.
My
That's what I
wife.
figured. Well, before I let you both go, I have to ask Dr. Dubrow, how is your wife and your family doing?
Okay, Heather is doing great. She's got a giant podcast, Heather Dubrow's World, and she's got a new giant fashion line coming out on Shop HQ. So she's doing really well.
Killing it.
Yeah, and we have a new book, a new diet book. Our book was #1 last year, #1 on Amazon, and so we have a new one coming out, which we think is a game changer. So she's busy. She's a busy woman.
Well, a couple months ago, we did a poll on asking which Housewife fans wanted to see return most. And Heather won the poll. Would she ever consider a return to
She
Orange County?
might, but I wouldn't let her, because I can't go through that. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's like going back to, can you go back to junior high school again? I don't think so. We're like in graduate school now.
I could go back with the confidence I have now. I wouldn't want to
junior
go
high.
back to junior high as like my 12-year-old self.
Yeah,
I feel better now as a 31.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would consider it once it got very, very cold in hell. Then I think it would be all right.
What about you, Dr. Nassif?
Let me think about that, about what, Brittany and I going back on the Housewives show,
Yeah.
or her going on with me? No.
I see it's a general consensus here. Okay.
It was a great experience. We had a lot of fun, but we're on to, we do the most difficult plastic surgery in the world. Our show's on in 160 countries. We're busy.
But I will tell you, one thing the Housewives did for us.
Oh, yeah, it was
gave
great.
us the opportunity to be here with you doing Botched.
That's true.
That's just
we
a
really
nice
thank
little...
Housewives.
We're super grateful
for
to
that,
the
for
Housewives.
helping us.
Super
Wonderful.
grateful.
Oh, I love that. I love I'll let Andy know, of course.
For sure.
Please.
Dr.
Andy.
Dubrow, Dr. Nassif, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. Be sure to catch Botched every Monday night at 10 p.m., 9 Central on E!